Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Thursday night, that means it's time to talk movies. My name is Vincent, and this is my podcast, POVincent, here on the River's Edge Network. And of course, with me is my comedic comrade, Eric Williams. Eric, you ready?
I think so. I played football with small people earlier, which sounds like I'm like, yeah, look at how awesome I am, but more like I showed up and they were like, hey, like, play football with us, and I'm like, okay, but like, I don't care about the outcome, because it'd be really weird for a 30-year-old man to care about the outcome of a football game with 10-year-olds.
That's when you have to care the most. Okay. Remember, Rick Moranis cared in Little Giants. Remember that movie?
He wasn't playing. He was just...
But he cared. He cared because it was symbolic of his struggle with his brother, Ed O'Neill.
But isn't the whole point of that movie that when he doesn't care is actually, like, when they win?
Maybe a little bit.
I never realized that Al Bundy was brothers with Rick Moranis.
You would never expect it. Oh, man.
Life is full of surprises! Ah!
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's movie time, so we're going to get right into tonight's movie news. We got some stuff going on here in Pittsburgh.
It's a happening place, man. I don't know if you know this. There is an independent comedy club starting up in the city. Like, there's also the people live here. Stuff happens.
Stuff does happen. Yeah. It does happen, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a famous funny man and actually good dramatic actor too, Seth Rogen is actually filming a movie here in Pittsburgh. According to an article on WPXI.com, that's 11 o'clock. That's the Channel 11 news, even though it's never been on Channel 11 on any of the TVs I've had. Seth Rogen movie is set to begin filming in Pittsburgh, reports say. Another movie project is set to begin filming in Pittsburgh. Variety reports a movie starring Seth Rogen will begin production in October. The untitled project is based on a book about a struggling immigrant pickle maker who falls into a vat of pickles in 1918, is preserved in the brine, and emerges in Brooklyn 100 years later. According to the report, Rogen will also produce the Sony Pictures movie. Okay, so that's a... I feel like this has got to be some kind of weird, like, kids movie or fantasy film, because I don't think Brian would preserve a human man.
I was gonna say, that sounds really stupid.
Yeah,
like, that sounds really, really stupid.
Yeah, there's got to be some magical aspect to it. Like, this is like the brine was mixed with like the Fountain of Youth or something like that. Like the Fountain of Youth is like, I don't know, I guess in New York or wherever they said.
I will say it does make sense. The pickle movie is taking place in
Brooklyn.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Wait. What? Brooklyn?
I don't... Well, no, the setting is... Well, it says he falls into a pickle vat, is preserved in a brine, and emerges in Brooklyn 100 years later. So maybe the vat gets sent to Brooklyn like he was here, and then...
Aren't we like the pickle capital of America?
I don't know. Wait, are we?
I don't know. People love pickles here. Like, put fried pickles on the menu, and people will show up.
Oh, yeah.
People will show up, man.
I don't know, so that's weird. But it's Seth Rogen. We all know how talented he is comedically and dramatically. He has proved his comedic chops. Dramatic chops, both comedic and dramatic. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what this is about. Like, once again, this better be some kind of weird, like, surreal fantasy comedy film, because otherwise
it has to be. Because
it has to be.
Here's the thing: Seth Rogen in 1918. Gonna be just like Seth Rogen now. Like, he is the best worst actor.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot think of a single movie where he has played a character that is not himself.
Yeah, no, yeah, he does. Yeah, as good as he is, sometimes he doesn't have, like, when he's doing comedy, he's basically the same character. But when he's doing drama, he's a little bit different. He doesn't have a lot of range. He has just enough to where you respect his acting skill.
When has he done drama?
He was in that. He was in that Steve Jobs film with Michael Fassbender. Yeah, and something else. I'm forgetting something.
I didn't see that one, but I feel like whatever CEO he played just talked like Seth Rogen.
Yeah, yeah. And one time he got before was like Congress or the Senate about something. What the hell was it about? I can't fucking remember. Somebody comment? Oh, we got a couple. We got Brian Crawford joined in. Hey, Brian, Liz. Liz is like Encino Man. Oh, you remember that film, Encino Man?
I do remember. You mean the one with Pauly Shore and his career that we all had to suffer through?
Yeah. Oh God, Encino Man. It takes me way back. Wow. I was just talking about Encino Man with somebody. Who was it? Damn it.
Who was it, Vincent?
I don't know. I was talking about that movie just the other day with somebody. I can't remember who it was. And Liz is all excited now. But anyway, yeah. All right. Well, enough. Okay, so hopefully this movie's...
It was on TV. I got it on a channel recently.
Really? Oh, that's great.
I did.
All
and
right.
it's just every time I see a Pauly Shore movie, I'm just reminded, like, oh yeah, nepotism. That's how most things work.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next news story. Once again, like I said, it's been a while since we talked about Star Wars, and there's always Star Wars news on the way. Unfortunately, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of talking about Star Wars. People are talking about Marvel and superhero fatigue. I've got Star Wars fatigue. It's only been a few years.
Crawford is just angry at you right now. So even if he's not watching, and probably because of the sound a little bit, but largely the fact that you just said Star Wars fatigue, like
I'm
somewhere inside him,
like
he just had a tingle. He's just what?
Like I want to keep watching Star Wars, but I'm tired of it always being something. Anyway, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, according to an article on Variety.com, Kathleen Kennedy extends Lucasfilm deal through 2021. Yes, the force is true. The veteran producer and chief of Disney content giant behind Star Wars has renewed her deal through 2021, an individual familiar with the negotiations told Variety, following a tumultuous year of the label under her control. The studio had no immediate comment on the new deal. The re-up comes up as the division gets back on solid footing following Solo, the Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo spinoff that suffered disappointing box office returns and behind-the-scenes drama after the studio dismissed director Phil Lord and Chris Miller well into production. They were replaced by Ron Howard, who was tasked with bringing home the pricey standalone, which cost at least $250 million. And the article does not say whether or not that includes the cost of advertising, because nowadays most movie studios spends tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising alone. So you not only have to make your money back, you have to make over double your money back on a lot of these bigger films because they spend so much on advertising, which honestly maybe should pull back the advertising a little bit, just a little bit. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, if you're spending just as much on advertising a movie, maybe you're advertising a little too much. Just fucking make a Twitter account, tweet it out, people will listen. That's all, just do it.
Liz brings up a good point. She said just 2021. I thought Star Wars was for life. Again, I feel like nerds. Star Wars fans. Nerds. I'm one of them. I know a lot of people have not been upset with the direction that Kathleen Kennedy has taken the franchise. And I feel like some of them are very happy that she didn't get that LeBron contract. This is no like $500 million for life. This is just like, we're gonna 3 years. They're giving her the same deal that LeBron is giving LA Lakers. This is like, what are you talking about? Who is LeBron?
I know who LeBron James is. He was in a movie once, so I know who he is. I know. No, he's a hell of a guy. I heard about that free school he did. That still blows my mind. It's like, that's amazing. It's like it was announced months ago. This is going to anger a lot of people because a lot of people blame the problems from Last Jedi and Solo on Kathleen Kennedy, since she is, if to put it simply, if this is Marvel, she's a Kevin Feige or Feige. I've heard it's pronounced Feige. Kevin Feige.
Oh, is that the guy that did Iron Fist and the Inhumans?
No. Kevin Feige is the guy who's in charge of Marvel Studios at the top. Yeah, you've seen him. He's always wearing a baseball cap.
Gotcha. You were comparing like their level. I was talking about So Marvel has like a really good success rate.
Really? They've been doing pretty poorly for the past 10 years. I mean, all their movies.
Fuck you, Vincent. With the exception of Iron Fist and the Inhumans, which got canceled like 3 episodes in or whatever.
I didn't even watch it. I wasn't interested.
Same showrunner. I forget the dude's name because I just want to pretend that he was never born.
Okay, I'm out of hoes. Anyway,
you need more hoes. Don't
we all? We all need a little hoe now and then. But yeah, no,
I
mean,
just realized that Santa has the most hoes in different area codes.
Lousy
Christmas joke.
Damn it!
It's October. We can start making them.
You can. If Halloween people can start talking about Halloween in friggin' July, then yeah, we can talk about that now.
You know, you say like, oh, Halloween people are talking about like Halloween in July. There's Christmas in July, Vincent.
And do we actually celebrate it? No.
In a world where globalism dominates, holidays happen year round.
But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. Like Kathleen Kennedy, I don't hate her as a person. I don't know who I've never met her. I don't had a conversation, so I can't say that I hate her. I just The Last Jedi, as I've said many times before, I didn't love that film. I didn't hate it. It's a mixed bag for me. There's some things in it that I did like. It's just the execution and the whole Rian Johnson saying he said it. It's like, I don't want to make a movie that everybody will love. If everybody loved it, I don't think I'd like it. I want he's like, basically he wants some people not to like it, and he succeeded in that, but not half of everybody. That's what it seems like. Because there are people who defend The Last Jedi. And, and I'm not going to tell them they're wrong for enjoying the film or something was good. But I'm just going to tell them.
It's my turn to make Brian Crawford angry. I was fine with it. Also, Kathleen Kennedy looks strangely like George Lucas. No, they have the same nose and eyes. It's weird. Is there some secret nepotism going on? Does she have the job because she is his secret love baby? Where
are we going with this?
I don't know. Maybe him and one of the Sam people had an illegitimate child. And she grew up to be Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, man. That would have been some hot, sandy sex. Oh, God.
Never say that statement again.
Never give me reason to say it again. Deal? But anyway, yeah, so, I mean, that happened. Solo happened with all the behind-the-scenes tumult. I mean, Solo was in a bad place because, some of the fans were like, oh, we don't know if we want a Solo movie. We're kind of interested. And some fans were like, yeah, let's do Solo. And then Last Jedi happened, and people were like, Solo's going to suck because Last Jedi sucked. And then they switched out the directors, and then it was Miller and Lord, and then they brought in Ron Howard, who was a good director, but still they did a ton of the movie by the time Ron Howard came on, and then there was behind the scenes about Alden Ehrenreich needing. We've gone all over this so many times.
Basically, hey, you're gonna get to make this meal. Okay, what's the meal? Oh, it is this kale and crap on a plate. But if you guys already made it, no, we want you to put on some garnishes.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. We're going to move on from Star Wars news to Star Wars news.
We can't get away.
It's a vicious force circle. Oh.
What was that accent?
I don't know. But there's random British people in Star Wars. I can be random British.
Are you Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs?
Do I sound more Southern?
But she has that Southern accent that comes and goes, which I guess is supposed to be intentional for some reason, but it just comes across as really weird. At least when you're a teenager watching it at a sleepover, it seems like bad acting. I don't know. Maybe now we could watch it and be like, oh man, the meta symbolism. It just lets you know how much Hannibal Lecter is eating her soul.
Just like Snoke ate Kylo Ren's soul, and then he killed him, and then. I'm going to go into... You know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop.
First of all, spoilers. Second of all, I think you got that backwards. If Snoke killed Kylo Ren...
No, is that what I said? I got that way backwards. I meant to say, yeah, Kylo Ren... See what this is doing to us? Do you see this? I am fucked up right now. All right?
He is high on STARWARS. I don't know why I spelled that out.
Oh, God, that's some quality, pure metachlorian. Anywho, what's it? Okay.
We made hot sand sex a hashtag. Yeah. You did that.
All right, so here's what's really going on. So it was announced this past week that apparently, and I can't believe I'm saying this.
This is wild.
Yeah, this is really wild. This
is something that someone makes up as a horrible lie to you, and you're like, that could never be true. But it's actually true.
Yeah, okay. Oh, God damn it. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, believe this or not, and I don't want us to get political, but we're going to have to mention some politics going on in America due to this. But, Russia interfered in the Star Wars fan base. According,
maybe it could have been China.
You mean China? See, it was happening anyway. But according to an article on Collider.com, it looks like the bulk of the online vitriol against Star Wars: Last Jedi was not only politically motivated, it was also amplified by Russian troll bots. According to the THR, an academic paper by researcher Morton Bay, titled, and this is a long title, Weaponizing the Haters, The Last Jedi and Their Strategic Politicized politicalization. God, fuck it. You know what's not even probably a word. I'm going to check on it later.
You know what? No, time out.
Of pop culture. That's the whole title.
I want
through
you
media
to
and
say that title as Rocky.
Okay.
This is going to be the next half hour of this show, everyone, and I'm going to love every single millisecond of it.
Okay. Well, I've been doing a lot of Rocky lately on the show. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this.
Favorite thing.
Okay. Weaponizing the haters, The Last Jedi, and the strategic politicization of pop culture through social media manipulation.
That actually worked so better because
Yeah.
you could just mumble it.
Yeah. I mumbled through the middle syllable a little bit there. But yeah, the study online response. So I'm just going to read some. Okay, the piece goes on to say, there's a lot, so bear with us. The paper analyzes in depth the negative online reaction, which is split into 3 different camps: those with political agenda, trolls, and what Bay calls real fantagonists. Fantagonists, which he defines as genuine Star Wars fans disappointed in the movie. So fantagonists are genuine fans who just they don't have an agenda, they just didn't like the movie. His findings are fascinating. Overall, 50.9% of those tweeting negatively about the movie was likely politically motivated or not even human. He writes, noting that only 21.9% of tweets analyzed about the movie had been negative in the first place. A number of these users appear to be Russian trolls. And then it goes on. There's another section. Was that? No, there was something else. Where is it? God damn it, I lost it. Yeah, could have sworn there's a little bit more. But yeah, so that's that part of that. Yeah, Bay's paper goes on to link the polarization of the Trump era that has politicized the fans, saying the new films are consistent with the old films in terms of politics and ethical choices. Basically, the type of divisive rhetoric employed by Trump. So yeah, this. I don't want to get too political on the show. We make our little jabs here because we like to make jokes and all that shit. But yeah, so apparently Russia made bots to mess with Star Wars fan base to create more division.
Okay, but I just want to say, but Hillary's emails and liking The Last Jedi.
Yes. Everything you said, yes, and at the same time.
And James Comey said that Solo was great.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they were involved in the media of this film. Trump said it was the hugest Star Wars film he had ever seen, and that the Force is fake. I don't know. This is why I don't do political jokes. I don't know what the fuck I was going with. But anyway, yeah, so it's so weird. I don't even know what else to say, but yeah, it's just weird that, I mean, if this whole Russian thing about Russian bots getting involved, it's like, I get the attack on government. Like when if you I get divide and conquer. I understand that concept, right? To do that in our government politically amongst the people. And then I guess our pop culture is, I guess it's a logical choice considering how much emphasis we put on our pop culture. But it's just this, so odd and weird.
Do you think Putin ordered it, or this was just one of the hackers was just you know what? I'm just gonna do this and find out whether or not Putin kills me for it. I'll make up an excuse. Maybe Putin just hated The Last Jedi. He was like, not my Luke! I mean, not my Luke.
I did not like how Luke would be on island. He would not do that. Luke would be Luke would be helping. This is what he does. This is the sky. He's good Skywalker. He's not like father. I don't know.
He is strong. He is strong like Russian bear.
Yes, he is very powerful.
Russian bear.
Reminds me of one episode of Family Guy where they go to Russia and just everybody's bears. Remember? You ever seen that? It's like there's like 5 people in all of Russia that are like people.
Okay, that would have made the 5th Die Hard movie so much better.
Yeah.
He's just running around Russia with an automatic weapon and everyone's bears.
Yeah. But anyway.
It would have been actually way more believable than whatever plot they wrote.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing because that's just I don't know what to say, but what the hell? Come on, Russia. Come on.
I mean, honestly, it's a brilliant strategy. If you want to pick something to divide people in America, like, I mean, I'm surprised if they could figure out a way to, like, link in and hack into Kathleen Kennedy's brain and have her have Lando Calrissian kneel in the next Star Wars movie during, like, the Imperial Anthem.
Wait, Lando's with the Empire? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he's going to be protesting the Empire.
Oh, kneeling. Oh, God, I thought you meant like he's kneeling down, showing his devote. I didn't.
Oh.
I thought that what you were going for. I was like.
No, he's protesting, man. Like, he's the Kaepernick of the Star Wars universe.
I get it. That'd be really funny if Kaepernick has like a cameo in the film. He sees Lando do that, and you just see like they just cut to this random like resistance fighter. And he's like, that guy's got a good idea. All right, let's move on to something space-related, but not Star Wars-related. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so tonight for a movie review, we're going to go over this. Michelle Williams is in the movie Venom, but she has been cast in a new movie, according to an article in Variety. Michelle Williams will star as late astronaut Krista McAuliffe in the drama The Challenger, centered on the 1986 space shuttle disaster. Yeah, for those of you who are too young to know or maybe even remember. I mean, this happened the year I was born, so I was told about it later as a child. But yeah, 1986, a teacher was chosen for a special NASA program where she was going to go up with the astronauts in the space shuttle and do some really cool stuff in space and teaching and do some what we call live streaming right now. They would just call it a live feed back then. And unfortunately,
did they just call it television?
Live television, live feed to television. Don't correct me. Don't correct me. I am the Vincent in POVincent.
Not the PO?
No, I added that on later. It wasn't always. But anyway, yeah, this was a real tragedy because like the shuttle went up, and I think was it 73 seconds in? Yeah, 73 seconds into the flight, the shuttle exploded, and everybody on board tragically died. And
okay, when we were talking about this, you said, "Oh wait, I should keep going." Sorry.
Yeah. No, so she McAuliffe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I believe McAuliffe. Yeah, was a New Hampshire high school teacher who was selected to join NASA's special program. Yeah, so this was like a big deal. It was like a big media deal because we're like, oh, we're sending a teacher into space, and all this stuff. But it was tragic because it wasn't the first time we've had a horrible thing happen in space for America. Of course, famously, the Apollo 13 incident, which was made more famous, or should say revived by the movie Apollo 13.
But no one died.
Yeah, no one died. They almost did. They barely made it out of that Apollo 13. This was just like they didn't even make it into space. They got up, boom.
Well, I mean, they didn't make it out of the orbit. Like they shot up. There was also the one where they were doing a drill on the planet and it went up in flames and a number of astronauts died. I don't know the name of that.
Oh yeah. That was mentioned in Apollo 13. Yeah. Yeah, that was right before. I forget that. And then there was just even when we were in high school, the shuttle that exploded on reentry. The Explorer, right? Because the heat panels fell off, and it just
on February 4th or something weird.
Yeah,
I say something. Okay, so you said we were going through. I was putting up the images, and you were like, "Oh yeah, Michelle Williams, who looks great, by the way." I mean,
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, Dawson's Creek's aired 83 years ago?
It was 84. It was 84 years ago.
Okay. But yeah, no, she looks fantastic. But you were like, yeah, she's doing this movie as an astronaut. And I was like, oh, like the crazy one who drove cross country in the
diaper.
In the Depends or whatever. And you're like, no, like the good astronaut. I didn't realize it was the Challenger explosion. Pop quiz, Vincent. What is the date of the Challenger explosion?
Well, I don't know the date, but it's
January 28th, 1986, Vincent.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
I apologize to the McAuliffe family out there if you're watching.
Do you know why I know this? Why I can just be like, bam! And like also why I'm like, oh, like the Explorer exploded like a week after the anniversary of the Challenger explosion.
Oh, okay.
I know this, Vincent, because I'm a motherfucking Aquarius.
Oh.
That still doesn't clue you, and you're like, oh, what?
You're born in that time, during that time.
That's my first birthday. Like, my parents were like, hey, we're going to take you to, like, Baker Square for, like, a slice of apple pie. And I was like, ah! And then the Challenger blew up on live stream.
Yeah.
Which was kind of just, like, foreshadowing for much of my life.
Well, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to come back from that one.
Like, no, the Challenger was a horrible tragedy in American history, but I just mean like a bunch of decisions that I've made in my life are much like a space shuttle exploding. Too dark? Too.
I don't even know. Are we far away enough from that tragedy to joke?
That was 33 years ago.
I know.
32, coming up on the 33rd.
32. Okay. I don't know.
I've made Vincent really uncomfortable.
You made me. I don't know what. Do I joke now? Do I make a joke? Was like the shuttle exploded and the one guy at NASA's like, "Whoops, my bad." No, did that work? I don't know. That Star Wars talk really fucked me up, man. But anyway, let's move on to something less serious and something we can just destroy because get that image up there. Let's get this ready for all the people watching the live stream.
Let's get ready for the people.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna move on from that to.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Oh my God.
I am actually ashamed that we're talking about this. Like, okay,
we're gonna be very short on it because I want to get to our movie review.
We talked about like the Russian bots, like doing Star Wars being like a ridiculous, unbelievable thing. This is less believable.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, from the people who brought you Stupid comes the Dance Dance Revolution movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Remember when people were pissed about the Emoji movie? Wasn't that quaint?
that puts things in perspective. I mean, this is gonna make the Resident Evil series look just like fucking Citizen Kane. Like,
anyway, let's.
You know what really the thing that I think upsets me the most about this?
What?
That it's not the third movie in the breakdance series. Oh, do you know of what I speak?
Electric Boogaloo series? Are we talking about the Canon films? Is that what
Breakdance 2, Electric
Boogaloo. Right, the famous Canon film.
Be Breakdance 3, Dance Dance Revolution.
We got to bring Canon films back. I know they died off in the late 80s, the early 90s? We're going to the late 80s. But we got to bring them back because it's just right up their fucking alley. Oh, or Sony. Let's say, I don't know. Sony would do it. I'll do anything. Anyway, so there is a Dance Dance Revolution movie coming out. The project will explore a world on the brink of destruction where the only hope is to unite through the universal language of dance.
For the record, Liz thought that our Challenger talk was funny, but she also thought that hot sand sex was funny. So like, I don't know. Like, I actually don't know which one of those is in worse taste.
I don't know. All I know is my good buddy Harvey's laughing. So Harvey, I'm glad you're having a good time watching. Thank you. He put down so many ha's. I think there's like 8 or 9 ha's in there.
What is the plot to Dance Dance Revolution even going to be?
I don't know. That's all it says. So let me keep. Here's the thing. I try to read the articles ahead of time before we go on the show, but like I had trouble reading the article after a few sentences. It burns.
I hope the movie is about a struggling screenwriting Hollywood who tries to write a movie about a fictional country called Dancetopia, where they try to overthrow their dictatorial ruler via dance. And as inspiration, they go to the Dance Dance Revolution at the local arcade.
That'll be one old busted-ass arcade, because I don't see no Dance Dance Revolutions that much anymore.
The title will be called Seven Psychopaths 2.
A surprise. You thought you knew what this movie was going to be about, but we got you. It's the biggest backdoor fucking movie since since fucking Split. Anyway. But anyway, Greg Silverman's recently launched Stampede will be developing the movie. It will partner on the movie with producers J. Todd Harris and Mark Markham. His name's Mark Markham of Branded Entertainment and the intellectual property owner Konami, which first introduced Dance Revolution in 1998. Video game. I don't. Pushing myself through this.
Wait, Dance Revolution has been around for 20 years?
Yeah. So I guess it's time to do a movie? Why?
There are some things that like we just don't need.
I know. I mean, we got through all the Step Up films. I thought we got past this. I thought there's only so long. There's only so many times you can make a movie where dance is the answer.
Wait, there were Step Up. What was the other one?
You Got Served.
Yes.
The movie that everybody knows about, but nobody actually saw. Because all you care about is that line in the trailer where, like, the whitest hood rat dude just goes, "You just got served." And I'm just like, then that guy never got work again.
Saw that movie because they thought that was the sequel to Waiting.
I wish that was our reality. Alas, it is not. You know, I've actually never seen You Got Served. I've seen the South Park episode. That was good. That was fun.
Here and here, but mostly here.
Yeah. All right. You know what? We could keep going on, but I think I've made myself clear. This movie is a mistake. It's not only a mistake creatively, but on a humanitarian level.
This movie, I wish we could terminate this movie.
With extreme prejudice.
I wish we could just take a Plan B pill and it's like, oh, that's not happening. Like, no more Dance Revolution.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the movie review. I feel like we'll have a much more better time talking about it than talking about. Why? Just why?
We say as we're about to review the Venom movie when the exact question many people asked when they heard, wait, Sony's doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Yeah. Why?
Anyway, let's move on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's movie review is for Sony's new film, Venom. For those of you who don't know, in the comic books, Venom is one of Spider-Man's greatest arch rivals. He's his opposite. He's like, lots of superheroes have their like evil or opposite or whatever. Superman's got Bizarro, and the Flash has Reverse Flash.
Bizarro's awesome. Reverse Flash is a dumb name, but kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's called Reverse Flash, but it's like, okay, I mean, that works, but
he's a weird because he's unstuck in time. Like, no, it literally gets to because they get really into time travel in Flash, and they're like, oh, like the different timelines. Like his character, there's no longer a timeline that he's rooted in. He's just like, I continue to exist no matter what happened.
Yeah, they get a little weird with that on the show and not really explain. But Reverse Flash is a good villain, so whatever.
I mean, in their defense, they get a little weird with it in the comics, and like they just explain to the point of like, oh, he continues to exist despite the fact that we deleted his original timeline.
Yeah, because
why? Because he's a great villain.
Yeah, and they're like, he's a great villain, and
it's comic books, they're all made up.
And like Speed Force, the Speed Force. He said you're the Speed Force, and then you do it the time. The more you time travel, the less it means, and then they got the negative Speed Force, which is on top of the normal Speed Force, and then they flip. And we gotta talk about Venom. Anyway, so this movie, this is something they've been trying to do for several years now, because this is supposed to be a spin-off movie of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, but Sony screwed that up, just like they did the Sam Raimi Spider-Man franchise they had done earlier. And it was in question whether or not this movie was ever going to happen, but after they made their agreement with Marvel and has allowed Marvel to use Spider-Man in the MCU, is bolstered stuff. Even though there's nothing in this movie to indicate this is part of the CMU, and everything I've read seems to indicate that this is separate. This is a different universe, which is a shame, because then these will never get the Venom and Spider-Man interactions and battles and all that stuff.
Well, okay, there was one thing that set up a potential tie-in.
We talking about him?
Oh, are you the spoiler?
Stan Lee's in the film.
Oh yeah, no, Stan Lee's
Okay.
that's not what I was talking about. No, okay. So we're gonna be covering the beginning of the. Did you catch the name they dropped early on?
I did not.
Okay, so.
Oh, they said Jameson.
Yep.
Yeah. So So apparently, J. Jonah Jameson's son was apparently in the movie very briefly. J. Jonah Jameson is the editor of the Daily Bugle, where Peter Parker often works at or freelances at, but
has not worked yet. In the MCU
he has not.
Series.
He has not. But anyway, so let's just get into the movie proper. So the movie stars Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, who is a traditional character in the comics who becomes Venom, and he's a reporter, a journalist, and he's one of those guys that always goes for the truth, no matter how hard or tough or scary it could be. He's
a prick.
Yeah, no, that's the problem with the character is selfish and self-centered. He's got a bit of charm to him.
Like it's one of those where he's like, "Oh, look how moral I am." And it's like you're a self-aggrandizing, narcissistic like jerk.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those where it's like, "Oh, look at all the good I'm doing. Oh, I'm gonna make sure that I smile while I'm on my television show." Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. So that's the character, which is a good way to go. That's the kind of how the character can be. And he's also in the movie. We got Michelle Williams playing the love interest. Her name is Annie Wang. So
she was way more likable than him.
Yes, but that's the point. Like he's with a woman that he does not deserve. He does have some charm to her. We show that in the movie that they've been together for a while. This is like nothing. They didn't just like fall in love out of nowhere. They've been together. But his arrogant, selfish, self-centered ways, and to get the story, and by whatever he does hurt, is a problem. We also in the movie we've got. Riz Ahmed playing Carlton Drake. He's the villain of the movie. He's like a young genius billionaire who's he sent a spaceship up into space to explore, and they came back with some stuff. The symbiotes.
Okay, I did kind of. What was his character's name again? His
name was Carlton Drake.
Yes. Okay, I really enjoyed. I liked his villain largely because they were clearly like, oh, hey, we're just going to make fun of Elon Musk. we're just going to no, Elon Musk, Carlton Drake, oh, hey, I'm this super rich billionaire who's actually a narcissistic douchebag that pretends he's doing good and wants to launch the space program. Does that remind you of anyone who's getting fucked by the SEC?
I've not been paying much attention to what's going on with Elon Musk. I know the only thing I heard about is he was on Joe Rogan's show and he smoked a blunt, and that angered a lot of people at his company because they have a no smoking weed policy. And I know he his company is pushing him out of the company. The board is pushing him out.
The SEC is pushing him out because he used Twitter to commit fraud.
Oh. Okay.
But which would have been a nice little subplot. In fact, Carlton Drake is probably slightly douchier and evil than Elon Musk, just a little bit.
Yeah. So the part of the movie is this villain. He wants to transform humanity because the Earth is being polluted. We're killing the Earth, and humanity
humans aren't going to survive, which means he won't survive.
Yeah, the humanity needs to evolve and become more than it is, and we're stupid and we're idiots, and he wants the symbiotes to take us to a new level.
That part is true, though.
Yeah. So, and Eddie Brock, he's investigating this guy, and he gets a symbiote on him. And which symbiote does he get? He gets the Venom symbiote. So, let's talk about the tone of this movie for a minute. This is something we discussed right after. I think I whispered it to you during the film. I was trying to be very quiet. I hate when people.
No, you were, because I'm often the loud one. At least one of the movies, I forget if it was House of Cogwell, you were just shut up, Eric. I was that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Not the first time I've heard that, or the last.
Yes. So the first act, the first third of the film. The first act, the movie takes itself pretty serious. Not too serious. It's not overly serious where it's oh, this is so boring. What's going on? But it sets the tone. This is who Eddie Brock is. This is who Michelle Williams' character is.
Here's Eddie Brock. He's a reporter who cares about a reporter. Oh, and he messes up his life seriously.
Yeah.
He just messes up his life, Everyone hates him. He's like considering a job as a dishwasher, and they won't even hire him.
Yeah.
So that's tough, man. If you can't get a job as a dishwasher, you have messed some shit up.
There must be some fancy-ass dishes. But yeah, so that's gone. The movie takes it serious and wants you to know this is a real grounded world. I mean, yeah, we got aliens in it, so... but it's like, this is serious, you know? There's like horrible things going on at this company with this guy. Eddie Brock knows about it. You know, he has serious discussions with his boss at this newspaper. There's a few minor lighthearted moments, but it's like nothing that makes it like, you know, hoo-hoo. Now, the tone of the movie shifts a lot once Eddie merges with the symbiote. After that happens, the tone of the movie gets really like, I don't want to say full-blown, not full-blown comedic. Like, it doesn't go like as hard funny as Thor Ragnarok, but it's not far from there. Just after, there's so many of these weird, funny moments that happen with the symbiote, and a few of them I was like, oh, this is kind of, I get it. Yeah, if he was merged with an alien, and, you know, because when he merges with the symbiote, he, like, you know, his body's like going through some stuff. He's like, and he thinks he's sick or something at first. But there's like these weird exchanges between him and Venom because he can hear Venom in his head, and he's like, you know, acting goofy and crazy.
And Venom's also a psychopath.
Yeah, that too. I mean, he wants to eat people and all this stuff, which you see in the trailer. And it just, I don't know. After a while, like, Venom starts. The comedy goes a little too far because after a while, Venom stops being this sinister, evil creature that's using Eddie, and they kind of have a buddy cop relationship after a while.
Kind of a RoboCop-y.
Yeah, like there's this one point where the movie, like, I'm not like I don't want to, like, Venom is legitimately concerned about Eddie's relationship with Annie, and I'm like, wouldn't Venom want Eddie to be disconnected from this woman so they could just be them? We are Venom. And isn't that the whole, like, if there's anybody who's a bigger Venom expert out there, please let me know down in the comments what Venom is like. Because my knowledge of Venom comes from the 1990s Spider-Man animated cartoon. That's where my sense of Venom comes from.
Okay, so I felt to some degree, and maybe I'm wrong or reading too much in, but I felt like Venom was kind of supposed to represent or be like toxic masculinity, and thus that's like this lady who you loved who is like with another dude who's a way better person than you, by the way. He's a surgeon who, like, he meets Eddie instead of being like, oh, like, you know, like, he's kind of a jerk at one point, but that seemed almost like an accident to me. It's just a way to like crack it. But he's like, when Brock gets infected, like, the doctor's like, hey, like, I'll take care of you, man. Like, Annie's boyfriend seems to legitimately care about Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
In fact, she seems to care about him more than Eddie Brock cares about anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, well, that's supposed to be like the balance. Like he's like just like, she's generally a good person, he's not. But
no, I meant the doctor.
Oh, yeah, the doctor. Yeah.
But the doctor likes Eddie Brock more than any. I think he likes him more than Annie does.
I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, the doctor, that he's just there to be the good guy, like to show, like, oh yeah, Eddie, this is. I feel like he was there just to show, like, hey, Eddie, this is who you should have been. You got a really awesome woman, and you just screwed that all up. All you had to do is just give a shit about what's going on in her life, and you guys would still be together. But
all you just had to do was, like, respect her and not utilize her to try and further your career, you piece of shit, Eddie Brock.
Yeah, but so, yeah, like I said, the tone of the movie is something that is weird and true, because it's supposed to be like one of the slogans for movies, like, the world has too many heroes. You know, this is like, he's supposed to be an anti-hero. That's how they're setting up Venom. And from what I understand in the comics, Venom has gone back and forth from a villain to an anti-hero. So yeah, but after a while, it's like, why? I mean, and some of it was funny. I'm not gonna deny that I was laughing at some of these like goofy moments, but I'm like, after a while, it just made Venom look less sinister, less mean, less badass. I'm just like, you're a giant plasmic goop monster that has jaws and eats people in the movie. And that happens. He eats people in the movie, and Eddie does his best to keep him from eating people he shouldn't be eating. But it happens in the film, and I'm just like, it just makes him less, badass. It bothered me a little bit. Like,
they made symbiotic cannibalism like way funnier than it really.
Yeah, this is something we should be. Venom is one of those characters. If they're going the anti-hero route, which is fine, we got plenty of great anti-heroes in comics and movies and all that. Wolverine is one of the most famous anti-heroes there is. He's a hero whose knives come out of his hands and he stabs his villains. That's what Superman would do. But it's just when you got to do that, you've got to. They have to maintain that badassness, that fierceness. And after a while, Venom just didn't come off like that to me. And I felt like there was a missed opportunity. Like go ahead, have a few goofy moments, have some levity to break some stuff up. But
they made a clear decision when they decided this movie was going to be PG-13.
Yeah,
because if we're going to be honest, like there's no way that a Venom movie should have ever been PG-13.
Yeah, If you're gonna, I was expecting this to have a bit of a horror edge with the nature of the character, and it didn't. I thought
there was the one scene that was kind of just like, when we first see Venom like bite someone's head off, it was kind of like, whoa, but like after that there wasn't anything else that was on par with that. That was it. Like,
yeah. So that was kind of disappointing. Like,
they also underutilized because I'm gonna try to not give anything, but there's another symbiote.
Yes. There's multiple symbiotes in the movie. Some get more attention than others.
And so different people, the symbiotes possess different people at one point, and they utilized a symbiote possessing someone in a way where like it could have been absolutely terrifying, and it was just like, oh, like that had to be slightly surprising for that character. They weren't really expecting it, but it wasn't like it lacked the scare.
Yeah. There's got to be a scare factor to it, and it was definitely lacking. Let's briefly go over the special effects. How did you feel about the special effects in the film?
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so they started off, and when he's doing the stuff where he's just in the beginning, we don't see Venom venomed up. It just emerges as shooting out and doing power stuff, and I thought that was fine.
Yeah.
But when he first transforms...
Yeah, full Venom suit.
Full Venom, it reminded me of the Resident Evil movie from way back, early thousands, when they have the, like, poor CGI of the weird villain thing at the end that actually looks kind of like Venom. And it also reminded me of the Edward Norton Hulk movie that just had like too much CGI. But then as they moved forward, they placed... I felt like they did a better job. I felt like the CGI looked a lot better when it was set up darker.
Yeah. I think it's the more the well-lit scenes where the problems come up.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, the Venom, the symbiote, he's like this living slime that merges with other living entities, right? And it's hard to make slime look realistic, I think, because it's like it's fluid, it's liquid, it's and the way the light bounce. That's a big thing when you're doing CGI is the way the light bounces off things. Because if you don't get the way the light on it looks, the human eye will pick up on that real quick. And with slime, because it's constantly moving and gelatin and all that, it's hard to get a good lighting on that. It's just weird. It's like it wasn't totally believable that I thought this slime creature was coming at people and merging with them. And that becomes somewhat evident when he goes full Venom, because the suit didn't look like it's. I've seen worse, but it just didn't look all the way there. And once again, like I said, it's hard to do. I mean, slime's a hard thing to do. I get that just because of the nature of it, but I feel like it could have been better. And I don't know. I mean, I had these fears going in after I saw the trailer, because I noticed it in the trailer too. And I was hoping, but sometimes that happens. You see something in the trailer, by the time the movie comes out, they put a little more into it, and it's fixed up. You're like, oh, okay, all right. Still could be better, but I'm satisfied with this. With this, I didn't get that satisfaction with the quality of the CG.
I will say, I felt like either the quality improved as the movie went on, or that they maybe it was just that as the movie went on, there was more dark scenes, because so they revealed in the previews there's like an epic showdown between the two symbiotes and
and
their host
Venom and Riot. We'll say the other symbiote that has a battle with is called Riot.
And I thought that was actually I thought that was all right. Like it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't horrible.
It wasn't horrible. My problem with the final battle, battle scene between Venom and Riot is, despite the fact that this is all CGI and you can have any camera angle you want, any range of the camera you like, a lot of the moments in the final battle, the camera was very up close on the two characters. And with the way they're moving around and like shape-shifting stuff, I felt very like I was having trouble understanding what was going on during some of the fights. And it's like, why would you get that close up? So it was just so chaotic. It was just like just imagine a close up of my hands, like just like that. That was happening a lot, and I was just like, why? Just like pull the camera back, yeah, it was just kind of weird. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it was just. Yeah, so let's go into like I don't know. Let's go into final thoughts. Eric, would you recommend the film or would you not recommend the film?
I would.
Remember, we also have the third option is you recommend it, but you recommend it like during matinee.
I was gonna say if you can see it without paying for it, I don't think. If you can see it without paying for it, but I would not fork out the $11 for this movie. It wasn't the abomination that I was like worried about. I mean, it wasn't anything amazing. This is one of those where I would say like, yeah, when it comes to HBO, like, you know, go ahead, get really high and, you know, have yourself an 11 o'clock p.m. movie. Like, if you fall asleep halfway through, you won't care that much.
Yeah.
It wasn't Batman versus Superman.
No. There we go. Eric never fails. If I don't say it, Eric gets in the BVS punch. Oh, I saw the movie and the two of them were fighting. I thought they were friends. It's more. This is becoming a thing now where I'm doing a Stallone impression. A Rocky. Rocky.
It's one of my favorite things.
Oh, it was so weird. Adam West ain't Batman no more. God rest Adam West. God rest his soul. So yeah. Okay, my recommendation. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you're gonna go see this movie. So that's the thing we got. When we got the established fan base, you guys are gonna go see the movie.
I mean, they'll probably complain about it, but they'll go see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't completely hate it. I just think the big once again, I think the movie's biggest problem. I mean, the CGI I could have, CGI is not the best. It definitely need to be improved. But I could forgive that if it just it's a tonal shift in the movie. Once Venom merges with Eddie Brock, and I don't mind a few goofy moments. And like I said, I was laughing during some of them. After a while, I'm just like, where's the viciousness? Where's the darkness? Where's the grit? Where's that edge I expect from a Venom movie? I feel like when they were writing the script or like they were like pre-production, the people behind it went to go see Thor Ragnarok and they were like, oh hey, people love Thor Ragnarok. How funny it was. Let's make Venom kind of funny. I feel like maybe that's what happened. So my recommendation is like I said, I don't hate it. I don't think it's a horrible film, but it is disappointing. I'll say it's disappointing. So, go see it during matinee, or if your local theater has one of those weekly discount days. Like the theater we go to has a discount day where tickets are $6 and you get a little junior bag of popcorn. So yeah, I mean, I would not pay full price for this movie. I would not see it in 3D. I just if you're gonna see it, just get it as cheap as you can. Once again, I'm not recommending you don't see it at all because I don't think it's that bad. I don't think if you're hoping for a sequel where you see Venom battle Carnage or you see Venom meet Spider-Man, I don't see that happening. And I do see Sony finding out some bullshit reason for why the movie didn't do well. Like when the 2016 Ghostbusters didn't do well, and they said like it was all like man haters. And yeah, there were definitely some misogynistic dickwads who like were harping on that film. But Sony amped up just how many people were attacking it for that reasons. But anyway, so yeah, I think that we're getting close to wrapping up the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's our review of Venom. If you enjoy our show, please head over to patreon.com and support us over there. We appreciate any support we get. And also, this upcoming week, October 10th, is the premiere of my new podcast, Silver Screen Stand-Ups, where me and two comedians are making fun of bad films. Eric will be joining me for that first one. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Buy my album. I have a bad idea on Bandcamp. Eric Williams. Yep, that is it. You are all beautiful people. We thoroughly enjoy and appreciate you. Have a great night, guys.